Welcome to yet another show of Headlines Kolkata. In our last episode, we had a nice, insightful discussion with Mr. Tim Patterson from Manchester, UK. We spoke about healthcare system and what he can do to upgrade the healthcare system in Bengal and in India. So one part of it will be, improving the biological resilience in the society.
Yes,
so what exactly do you mean by that when you talk about improving biological resilience?
Okay, so it's a bit of a phrase, so apologies for that. Improving biological resilience. It's difficult to describe in one sense, but it's really simple. Our training for doctors is very small in nutrition, and biological resilience can come through improved nutrition. So if we help the doctors and supplement and complement the doctor's therapies with lifestyle management choices, including nutrition, then we can impact the lives of society and make them less of a burden, more productive, and they themselves can improve their qualities of life. One of the saddest things is the loss of the anti-aging community is not deemed as medical, but it's deemed as lifestyle really. But some of the biggest problems we have in society is our older populations become degenerate, they degenerate physically and mentally. And so there are a number of conditions that are real challenging. Alzheimer's, dementia, motor neuron disease. It's just very, very sad. And the last lives of our loved ones are lost due to a time period of loss of memories, of loss of quality of time. And it's a really distressing time for everyone concerned and confusing for the older patient that's passing eventually from their condition. So improving the quality of life as we've retired is a goal of ours, and helping people to lead healthier lives during their life. But moving to the start, the cradle to the grave, going in reverse, when we look at the paediatric nutrition, it's really quite distressing to see a young person's life cut short through sudden cardiac syndrome. So when you think about an undiagnosed heart condition, this is really quite a risk for a child that has a future to offer the world, a potential, a latent potential to go and change the world in whatever they become passionate about. Yet they are cut short. We lose in the United Kingdom alone, under the age of 35, including the under 12s and under 10s, we lose 12 people a week to sudden cardiac syndrome. So there's a new technology which we have a global license at Health Economy Solution International. We have a non-exclusive global license to take the system into every market. Now, if you go to a cardiologist will insert a medical device through your femoral artery, and it'll take them it'll cost $30,000–40,000 on Medicare and Medicaid or whatever on your health insurance, but they'll record about 7 parameters inside that device, outside of the body before they have to insert the device. So 49 parameters of cardiovascular health are measured by this system that we're going to be bringing to healthcare systems and governments around the world on behalf of the inventor. The inventor is an ex-deputy project commander at NASA. He first started working in '92 in seafloor studies on endurance, mimicking space flight and space travel, and looking at cardiovascular systems and how respiratory performance affected aquanauts in the aquasphere working out of diving bells for extended periods of time. In fact, at that time, he broke the world record for endurance of working in a compressed air environment. So this man is steeped in knowledge and experience. He's one of the leading cardiovascular pulmonary screening experts in the world, I would suggest. Now, he's not a medical man, but he's a NASA aquanaut. He's devised a system that no cardiologist can obtain those 49 readings. In fact, only 7 of them can be got through intervention, without intervention into the system. So the problem comes in cardiac syndrome with the child. If we screen for an ECG, there is no ability for our overworked health system to screen every child, whereas it's a simple ECG with an arrhythmia. So we can spot the arrhythmia, we can spot the sudden cardiac syndrome symptom. A popular footballer in the UK teamed up with a man who lost his son at age 12 of sudden cardiac syndrome about 12 years ago. It was literally last year that father, with the support of this Premier League footballer, ex-retired footballer, that they got defibrillators as standard law in every school to try and restart the heart of a child. The problem is, at that time, it's like an overflowing sink and you're mopping the floor instead of turning off the tap. We need to get to the source of the cardiac arrhythmia. So,
the root.
Yeah, you have to get to the beginning of it. So if you don't know about it, you can't get to the beginning. So this footballer took this father and went to his old school in Liverpool, in the northwest of England. And they did a test on 20 children in primary school, literally under 7, right? And one child in those 20 in the class he used to be in had an arrhythmia. And the nurse from the local hospital wheeled in a trolley with big equipment and they measured the children. This device we're talking about is a small, to bring to the world, is a small, it fits in the palm of your hand. Put anode cathode, one finger on one hand, one finger on the other hand, and it will measure to pharmaceutical medical grade approved software from the FDA in America, and it's NASA endorsed technology. And this will tell us immediately if a child has sudden cardiac syndrome, or will instigate the investigation if they have arrhythmias. Now, if you take this footballer going into his old school and you take 1 in 20 children just in the UK alone, there are 10 million children in England and Wales in the healthcare system, in the school system, sorry. There's 500,000 children at risk of sudden cardiac syndrome. This is a time bomb of health cost, impact on government spend. We can't spend on climate change if we're trying to help sick children get better. And some of those 1 in 2 people that have their first heart attack from young to old, it's 47% of children or adults that have a first heart attack don't survive. And the remainder will have a healthcare cost. Without meaning to sound cynical, they are going to become more expensive to manage, whether it's through health insurance or whatever. So paediatric health is a key focus of Health Economy Solution International. So we want to bring that to West Bengal and to India. But there's also other areas. Our children deserve the best nutrition, but sometimes with these difficult times, with lots of tariffs being, wars being started and problems like that, we have this situation where the cost of living is going to be very, very high for some time to come. So children are going without nutrition and without good meals. So adding nutrients to their food program, maybe at schools with healthcare programs focused on school and government match funding, or philanthropic impact.
We have this midday meal program across schools, so maybe it can be clubbed up with that.
Yeah, that would be perfect to ride on the back of that. So you can add nutrients to the children's food, and we could estimate to see whether it improves their attention in school. So there's a lot said about attention hyperactivity disorder and stuff like that. Maybe some of the children are just malnourished, and restoring nutrients to their program may improve their attention, and it may even improve their ability to learn. If the mind is healthier and the mental concentration is better, that improved acuity could improve their grades. So we'd like to do some studies to help children in the West Bengal educational community. And you know, from our work in 2019, we did a workshop in Calcutta on educating about lithium-ion battery recycling. The educational system needs support and new ideas so that we can develop new skills in India and West Bengal to create new job opportunities. We need people to be employed in this new type of sector. It's wellness nutri-pharma. So measure the heart and the cardiovascular, improve the child in the learning environment. We give them a much better start to life, and their potential achievements could be much greater. So all in all, that is
either or, but and.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus.
So we're working with the child, with the parents, and with the schools. Ironically, if a child takes one of these devices home and continues their measurement program for their own health, maybe their parents will try it, and maybe their parents will find out they have an arrhythmia. but we know that the healthcare systems cannot measure every member of the population. We wait until there's a symptom, then we try and treat it. By that time, sometimes it's too late and the condition is too entrenched. So this isn't trying to remove any revenue from the treatment process, it's trying to prevent people that can't be managed because it's too expensive to look at everyone preventatively. I'll give you an example. This is a technology from a company, and it ionizes air. And you turn it on, this is 95% oxygen. That's 95% oxygen. So you could have this in your car, or me on the plane, just to improve oxygen uptake, because there's not enough oxygen on planes. That's why you get jet lag as well as time zones. But during the COVID pandemic, large scale sizes of these things were put in schools, and basically it has graphene tipped anode cathode, and it ionizes the air to remove viruses. And the company that make these, we have a relationship with the executive vice president, and we've met the president, and very, very charismatic people, very caring people as well. And they put these in for free in schools around their head office in Oklahoma, throughout the state, in fact. And when the virus was being walked into schools on the soles of feet, they had cleansing baths where they would, children walking over a grid, and these deionizers would be taking the virus off their shoes. These, in a larger scale, were used in the rooms to deionize the air, to take the viruses out of the air. So when we think about COVID-19, think COVID 20, 21, 22, again, we're focusing on children here and pediatric health. In our schools, we want to bring local partners in industry, and this could involve the local fossil fuel emissions coal-fired power plant, but they have children in schools in their area. They might want to sponsor putting these in as a community project, and that's brilliant, because we're taking existing energy challenges and existing energy production, and we're working to transition them to a cleaner future, plus we're helping the children in the community who will be the future employers of the state or the country. So air quality is important. Cardiovascular health, it's the biggest killer. And obviously the nutrition gives a child a good foundation for the future. And developing some basic programs with schools and charities, we would love to demonstrate or see and discover if we can improve the quality of life of children in school. That's it.
I am reminded of a famous Bengali poetry actually verses which says that "E pithibike ei shishur basjoggo kore jabo ami," which means that I will make sure that this world becomes more comfortable for the child who is born today.
Yes, absolutely.
So that should be the kind of both for all of us. So I'm happy that you are working on this. Thank you once again,
right.
team, for
for
joining us and for this wonderful insight. I'm sure very soon we will get to see actual and proper usage of these things and the model which you described. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.